But when I saw that this had a 4.14 average rating on Goodreads, I'm like, where? Welcome besties, it is Kara, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today's video, we are gonna do like a little bit of like it's not quite halfway through the year because like I'm filming this a little after it's halfway through the year, but a little check-in, chat about some of my favorites and my least favorites so far this year. My favorites are any books that I gave 5 stars or really close to 5 stars, and then my least favorites are anything like 2 stars. I apologize about the lighting. This is like the most unsunny summer ever. We're dealing with what we got. With all that being said, make sure to follow my socials down below. Let me read my as always. Just stick with that link down there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, everybody. And let's just get right into it. Is my reading goal. So if you guys watched my video where I kind of talked about some change that was coming to my channel, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. I'm not 100% sure, but I did end up changing my reading goal. So I believe at the beginning of the year, I set my reading goal to be 60 books for like the whole entire year. And then as I got into the first couple months of the year, I was like, I am not reading. So I ended up changing my reading goal, which is totally fine. I feel a little bit better about it now that we are over halfway through the year, and where I'm at, I feel like I would have felt so behind and so like stressed about it. And at the end of the day, it's just a reading goal. It can be changed. It doesn't really matter how many books you read a year. Like, it really like is a first world problem. I ended up changing it from 60 to 30 books. So I basically split my thing in half. So my reading goal for this year now is 30 books, and I'm pretty sure I've read 21 already. And if you're wondering, let's go month by month, because why not? January I read 3 books, February I read 3 books, March I read 4, April I read 3, May I read 3. I could have read more, but I read Kingdom of Ash, which is 900 pages. The month of June I actually read 5 books. I don't know who I was in the month of June. That's my little breakdown. If you were wondering, again, my Fable will be linked down below if you want to be friends with me. Let's just get into stats. Why not? Why not? I'm already here. Books read, like I said, 21. My best reading streak, which is what I'm currently on, is 74 days. When I tell you, since I started this reading streak, I've been on a whole nother level. Basically, I've read for 74 days in a row, which I'm sure I've had a longer streak than that since I started tracking on Fable. 74 days. And then my average rating for the 21 books that I've read this year is a 3.3 stars. So I feel like overall, I think I've had kind of a meh year with reading, like a lot of 3 stars. I'm feeling good about reading. Finally, I feel like I found my kind of groove of just being able to spend time reading, spend time filming videos, spend time editing, while also having time for family, boyfriend, all of that. Let's now just get into my favorites and my least favorites of the year. So I think I'm gonna start with my least favorites, only because I want to save, obviously, the good books for last. I think these are in order of like kind of when I read them. I believe I have 5 favorites and 5 least favorites. Low-key, some of these books I don't remember anything too specific about them. First off, we have The Deepest End of Love by Lucina Coney. This is the 3rd book in, I think it's just called the Brightest Light series. So the first one is The Brightest Light of Sunshine. Really loved that book. Gave this one 2.5 out of 5 stars. Don't really remember too much from this book. He was like her professor and she was like a student. He's like a family friend and he like offers her an internship, and that's all I remember. Age gap. I was like, there were some tropes that I was very excited about. Obviously, I was very intrigued to see how like professor and student kind of worked. I just remember this one falling flat for me. I feel like, I remember not feeling the connection at all between these 2 characters. It felt forced. I really liked this author's writing style, and like looking back, I think I only really liked the first book in this series, which was crazy because it was friends to lovers, which I do not like that trope. That one was done really well. Yeah, I feel like I read it pretty fast though. These I can read pretty fast, and I don't know, the first one was just so emotional. The second one had a lot of emotional like aspects to it, and I felt like this one was different. I feel like there wasn't too much emotional aspects. I think he might have had some like trauma past to him, which I loved it more because I really like author's writing style, but you know, you're not gonna love all of them that they write. All right, next up we have a book that I was like so highly anticipating, and then I think I gave it 2 stars maybe. Next one is Love Song by Elle Kennedy. So this is the first book in her new series. What is it called? It's not a series. I thought it was a series. I think it is a series. This basically is about the children from the Off-Campus series. It's one of Garrett Graham's kids, and then it's John Logan's kid. If you don't know me, The Graham Effect is one of my favorite favorite books of all time. Gave that 5 stars. Read it at the beginning of last year and I was like, oh my god, we get another Graham novel and just another novel with all these characters because the found family is just really good. Like the depth to all these characters now and like the series and everything that like is connected with them as like the originals, I guess. You can just like feel like the love that the characters all have for each other and how like deeply rooted they all are in each other's lives. I was really excited for this one because it was John Logan's kid, which if you know, him and Garrett Graham are best friends, another Graham kid. So Blake is the daughter of John Logan and Grace, and then Wyatt Graham is the son of Garrett Graham and Hannah. Basically, I'm not gonna get too much into the descriptions of these books. I think Blake is going through a really bad breakup, so she goes to this like Tahoe house that the whole like off-campus people have that they go to for sometimes in like the summer or whatever. Wyatt is in like a writer's block. He's like a musician, whatever it is. He ends up also going to this like Tahoe house, so it's like they're both stuck there with each other but they don't want to leave, you know, it's like forced proximity, all that. Let's just read what I said on Goodreads because I can't remember anything other than I didn't really like this book. Past Kira said, I wanted to love this so much, but there was just too much attraction talk right off the bat in like every single page. I do remember that. I feel like it was very instant attraction. They did talk about it a lot, and I know that they have been around each other for like a very long time. Obviously their parents are best friends, so like the kids are gonna grow up all around each other. I think Blake ended up having like a crush on Wyatt and like told him, but he always just saw her as like a little sister. That's like one of my least favorite things in a book, like other than like miscommunication, is just like when the first 100 pages just are right off the bat talking about how one character or both characters find each other attractive. Like there's no build up. I really hate that. I mean, this book is over 500 pages. You would think it would have been slower, but nope. She was spitting in this thing because I literally was just about to say that. Like this book was not a 300-page book and it had a trope that I don't like and it didn't turn out the way it usually does, so I guess that's fine. I tolerated it. Oh my god. This might be a spoiler. It might have had the pregnancy trope. I really hate that trope. Didn't love this book and I'm kind of upset about it because I loved the last book that she wrote about a off-campus like next generations, except we have another book that I was really excited about and turned out to be not that great, In Her Own League by Liz Tom Ford. So this is, I guess it's like a spin-off book. I don't think it's gonna be a series, but it's like a spin-off book from the Windy City series. It's about Miller's dad Monty and the new like baseball, what's she, like the president or boss, I don't remember what she's called. I'm not obsessed with the Windy City series, I will say. I think I only liked Caught Up and Play Along, which are like the middle kind of books. The rest of them didn't really stick too much like in my brain or anything, but I thought this one would just be like really fun because it's like a new dynamic that I never really read from before. I think I'd give this one 2 stars as well. I just felt like this one so repetitive to a point that I was like, I really started to dislike it because I'm like, I hate them talking about the same thing every 3 seconds. All it was about was that like he was an employee and she was the boss and like they couldn't do anything. So they would like do something, whatever it was, like sleep together, make out, wherever it was, and then right off the bat it was like, nope, so you're my employee and you're my boss, we cannot do this. And I hate that. I feel like I didn't hear too many good things about this book. Actually, I heard nothing about it when I picked it up, and I picked it up maybe like 2 months after it came out, and I was like, guys, I've not heard anything about this. No wonder, because nobody was liking it. Next up, we have a book that I did do a reading vlog on. If you want to check it out, I will probably not go over this one too much because I did a whole reading vlog on it if you want to watch it. So I feel bad. Like every time I think about it, I'm like, I really feel bad. It also is my opinion, and if I didn't love the book, I didn't love the book. Best Friends by Haley Pham. So if you don't know who Haley Pham is, she is like a book influencer, YouTuber, influencer, whatever you want to specifically categorize her as. I watched her a little bit before she started making book content, but like once I really got back into reading, I noticed that she was into like reading and stuff, so I went back into like watching her, and she ended up coming out with a novel, and I gave this book 2 stars. I didn't love it. I didn't really love the writing style. Personally, to me, this could be why I didn't like the book, is I don't like these tropes of like second chance and childhood friends or whatever it was, or best friends to lovers, wherever it was, something like that. I didn't find the writing very strong, and I feel like it was advertised as a romance, but like there wasn't too much romance. But like when there is, it was too quick back into the romance. I don't know if I'll read anything that she does come up with like after this. I mean, hopefully we'll go up from here for her, and kind of fell flat for me. A lot of things didn't connect. I don't know what it was. And then last up for my least favorite books of the year. I've been yapping too long now, so I'm gonna try to speed the second half of the video up, even though I'm gonna literally talk about all my favorites this year. This is the most recent book that I read. I literally finished it yesterday, and it was Only Mine by Laura Pavlov. So this book I actually was like about 20% of the way through, and then I soft DNF'd it, but because I was already a little bit into the book, I decided to pick it back up so that I wasn't still in the middle of it. I needed a book to read before the end of the month, so I decided to pick this up. This is the last book in the, I think it's Honey Mountain series, Laura Pavlov. There are 5 books in the series, and all the sisters get a romance. This is about Dylan and a guy named Wolf. Right off the bat, no thank you. But like, he's like an ex-Navy SEAL, and she is now helping with like the hockey team that one of the sisters' husband play for. But basically, it's boss employee again. This like was like I probably should have gave this book 1 star. I'm like, looking back on it, this was like just the worst book ever written, and it's really mean. I don't mean it like that, but like the most like repetitive, like meaningless book I think I've ever read, because like there was no depth to these characters. I think I picked up the book around like page like 70. I think I DNF'd around page 70, and like I forgot how much they talked about being attracted to each other and like making like offhand jokes about it. It's such an unprofessional manner like in my life. Like it was like unbearable. I like skipped like most of this book, and I probably should have gave it 1 star, like low-key. But when I saw that this had a 4.14 average rating on Goodreads, I'm like, where? Just way too much attraction and lust talk. I feel like I didn't even really like this series. I think the highest book I rated was like a 3 star. The rest of them I think I gave like 2. Yeah, I don't go into these thinking they're gonna be the best book ever, but like I have to somewhat enjoy what I'm reading. And that was none of this book. Probably my least favorite book of actually the whole entire year so far. Alrighty besties, we have made it to my favorite books of the year. Like I said, I think I have about 5. I'm gonna try to make this very quick because once again, like every video, my battery is gonna die. I did charge it completely before this video. I'm trying to make this pretty quick, although they're my favorite books, so I could talk about them all day. I don't know why I talked about my least favorites so much. So let's just get right into it. First book that I think I might have gave 5 stars this year, and first book I gave 5 stars in a very long time, was The Wrong Heart by Jennifer Hartman. If I want just like a book that is going to just be like trauma filled, hurt my heart, and make me cry, I will always pick up a Jennifer Hartman book. I think I've read 4 books by her now. So I've read Lotus, which is one of my favorite books of all time, Still Beating, The Stars Are on Our Side, I think it's called, and now The Wrong Heart, and I've given, I think, half of them 5 stars and the other 2 like 4.5 stars, so really high rating. There was just so much to this book that I really loved. Like, I don't know what it is about just these kind of books. They have so much emotional aspects of them that like they make me love them. Say as little as I can because there's just a lot to this book. Basically, it's about these 2 characters and Melody. Her husband ends up passing away in like a tragic accident. He must have been like an organ donor or something. His heart gets given to somebody else who needs it, and she contacts the person who got his heart just to like kind of have a connection, I guess, or know. And it turns out to be the male main character of the book. So they've kind of been living in like, I guess, the same town, and he ends up having to go to like these support groups for mental health, and that's where he meets the female main character. He's really broody, closed off. That's how they kind of meet, and she has like some work that needs to be done at her house. He's like a contractor, so there's a lot of forced proximity, and there's a lot that happens in this book, but it was just so incredible. Like the character development, especially for the male main character, was amazing. And I feel like the female main character, seeing her go through all this grief and just be able to like love again and kind of help our main character, just both of them come out on the other side, just really was nice. And the plot twist was crazy. Like I just did not see it coming, and that what solidified it for me. All the things I love in a book, a romance book, is like in this one, where it's like very emotional, like slower burn. Like they obviously talked about one another being like attractive, but like it wasn't too much to a point where I was like, I cannot stand this anymore. I love Jennifer Hartman. Like, I love her. I want to read all of her books. I would definitely recommend any of the books that I listed earlier. Alright, next up we have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. If you don't know, this is the third book in the Empyrean series, I think it's what it's called. I put this off for way too long. I did, I will admit it. It was such an incredible book. I think I gave it not 5 stars, I gave it 4 stars. And like the more that I see TikToks about it with the theories and just like all like the little things that you see in this book, like you don't see them, but like they're hinted at or they're like in the background that other people notice and then they comment on it, it just makes me really love the book more. So I think I would probably give it like higher than that, like maybe a 4.25 or like maybe a 4.5 on a good day. I obviously cannot talk about anything in this book, but there is just something about this world. Like I see so many TikToks about it all the time. Again, all the theories that people have and all the little things that are in the first book that you won't even realize is something that you could pay attention to until you like read this book, and it's just like an amazing, incredible series. I really do love it, everything about it. Dragon aspect, Violet and Xaden, obviously, all the found family, although a lot of people died in this book. Like, what are we doing? I'm just like incredibly scared for the next book, even though we're getting like some kind of little short story, whatever it is. I'm hoping it's 12 hours. If you know, you know. Like a really awesome, incredible series, incredible book. Just like so much of what I love now comes from this series. I need the next book. I cannot wait another like 3 years, 4 years maybe, for this whole entire series to be completed. I'm not ready for that. All right, next up is a book that I don't remember too much about it, but I do remember liking the characters, so I'm gonna mention it, and it's Secret Haven by Catherine Cowles. I believe this is the last book in the Spiral Falls series. It's like a small town romance series with like, I think all of them have romantic suspense aspects to them, but this is about Kai and Fallon, and I've been waiting for these two characters book for like ever. I really love them. They're like amazing characters. You've seen them and their special bond that they have throughout the entire series, and yeah, these are fun, these are quick. I think I gave this book 4.5 to 5 stars. I really just love seeing these two characters' dynamics. I love the mystery suspense aspect that is in all these books. I feel like it adds a little something to like the book overall, that it's not just like a straight up like, oh, they love each other, like what's new. I mean, they do kind of feel all similar because all of them are like kind of the same. I love them. I eat it up, would recommend the series. It was really fun. Covers are stunning. I want to read more by Catherine Cowles. Don't remember too much specifically about this book. I loved it, and he got tattoos of things that she liked. Are we kidding? All right, next up is another book that I cannot talk too much about, but yeah, I did actually finish Kingdom of Ash this year. I started it in January. I finished it in, what was the last month? May? And it was incredible. 5 stars. Amazing. I feel like I didn't give this book enough time to marinate. Like, obviously I gave it 5 stars. It's an incredible book. But I see all the TikToks now because I can watch any Kingdom of Ash TikTok I want without it being spoiled. This series is just incredible. Like, I love all the multiple point of views. I love all the storylines. I love the characters. Found family is incredible. A lot happened in this book. Like, bring your tissues, bring your sanity. I love the series. Like, I think about it more and more and more. It's more world building and political war based than like something like Ektar, but it's so good in its own way. And I definitely feel like I should reread this series, like the whole series at some point, just to really like grasp it. Like, I have to read them closer together because I spread out this series too much, I feel. And obviously I still loved it. Thinking of reading the Throne of Glass series, I could not recommend enough. It's a big long journey, but like you get so attached to the characters. Like, you get so deep rooted in this series. And last but not least, hopefully before my battery dies, last and like final book, I guess that's like my favorite this year, is gonna be Unbound by Peyton Corinne. So this is the 3rd book in the, I believe it's just called the Undone series. I've been waiting for these two characters book for so long. It's about Paloma and Bennett. These books are like college hockey romances, and they have so much emotional depth to them that it's like right up my alley. I believe I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars, but these two characters just have so much going on between them. They have a little bit of a past, like not too much, but this book had a past and present timeline, so you get the beginning of them becoming friends while it's intertwining with the present time where they're starting to like rekindle like a little bit, which I thought that just kind of storyline and like writing was really good. Like, it really made me enjoy it because if you know me, I do not love second chance. Once you intertwine a past timeline that's not too like quick and doesn't give you like the most minuscule details or chapters about them became friends, and then the next past chapters like them falling in love, like, you know what I mean? Like, this one was good and well enough drawn out that really added to the depth of the characters. I really love Bennett. He was such a sweet character, and there were like times where I think would have been just better off they didn't get together. Like, I don't mean that in like a bad way. There was just a lot going on. A lot going on with Paloma specifically, and she just felt like it was better for him to like not be with her. I'm not saying that I agree. She put him through the ringer. I don't know, he loved her so much, but like it got to a point where like he even was like, it got to a point. So when I think of the song Less by Olivia Rodrigo, it's these characters. Roller coaster of emotions, roller coaster of things that happen. Give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The more I talk about it, like it could have been a 5-star, but there's like one thing I didn't love was like in the present timeline where they kind of decided that they were just gonna kind of let their lust take over first instead of talking things out, which I did not love. Nonetheless, still a really incredible book. I love the series. Definitely would recommend it. I think the last book is gonna be about Torin. That will be an interesting book. I'm really excited for that. That is my last favorite that I have so far this year. Alrighty besties, now that I have completely yapped your ear off, that is the end of this video. Read 21 books this year, picked 10, 5 and 5 from each category, and there are probably like obviously a lot more books that I enjoyed this year, and there's a lot more books that I didn't love this year, but we're not here to talk about all those. I haven't done wrap-ups a couple months now, so I feel like unless you follow my Goodreads or you look at my like Instagram, my Bookstagram, you don't really know what I've been reading, what I've been up to. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to follow my socials down below, all my Goodreads, my Amazon wishes, stuff like that is linked down there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, where's me. And I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye!